Saturday. Here's Carol Simpson.
Good evening. In Moscow, Mikhail Gorbachev knocked down widespread reports that his resignation is imminent, saying he plans to continue to play a role in what was once the Soviet Union. But Gorbachev's political position continues to erode, and the economic situation in the republics remains dangerously unstable. Tonight, Secretary of State Baker is heading to Moscow with American aid, even as Gorbachev is saying the U.S. is at least partly to blame. We have two reports, beginning with ABC's Mike Lee in Moscow.
Mikhail Gorbachev says it is not over for him, at least not yet. He told this German delegation today that it was his responsibility to stay in power to help overcome the current crisis. Gorbachev also told Time magazine that he is not on the verge of resigning as president of the ever-shrinking Soviet Union. Gorbachev conceded that his power base has been eroded by the newly emerging Commonwealth of Independent Republics. But, he said, I want a stage-by-stage, step-by-step process that will not stimulate disintegration and chaos. Gorbachev says he will use his powers as commander-in-chief of the military to keep the lid on any civil disorder which might result from food shortages or ethnic conflicts among republics. As for nuclear weapons, Gorbachev reassured the West that he will maintain central control. Gorbachev accused the Bush administration of stabbing him in the back when Secretary of State Baker recently declared that the Soviet Union no longer exists. He also criticized the West as moving too slow on aid. Stop hesitating, said Gorbachev, or we will all have to pay a greater price in the end. Meanwhile, Russian President Boris Yeltsin predicted that the new Commonwealth he is putting together will save the Soviet economy. First, things will worsen. Then there will be stabilization by this time next year, said Yeltsin. That did not impress several hundred demonstrators who protested planned food price hikes. This group is pro-communist and still a minority. But as conditions worsen, more people may rebel against the high price of free market reforms. Mike Lee, ABC News, Moscow.
This is Rick Endefirth in Washington. At Andrews Air Force Base today, crews loaded an Air Force C-5 transport with emergency medical supplies provided by the U.S. Earlier in San Francisco, a Soviet Aeroflot plane took on additional relief supplies. They will accompany Secretary Baker on his visit to a country whose future remains very much in doubt. But the administration's call this week for an international conference to coordinate badly needed humanitarian aid is receiving mixed reviews. Many Europeans feel that Washington should have responded sooner to urgent pleas for Soviet aid, such as those made by German Foreign Minister Genscher.
The United States isn't a very credible partner to organize this help for the Soviet Union because it's so late doing this now. I mean, what Baker says now, Genscher said at least 2 years ago, and nothing happened. So I fear that the opportunity is lost.
And at home, critics say too much attention is being paid to other countries' problems and not enough to America's.
Why don't we let the Europeans deal with the problems of Central Europe and the Americans deal with the problems of the United States, which are far more serious?
Other politicians strongly disagree.
The administration ought to know that the people of this country are going to support a president who is looking out for our interests over there in what remains of the Soviet Union, and he ought to act boldly. He really ought to act now.
Which is the direction the administration is moving. As Secretary Baker put it, assistance now can help the people of the former Soviet Union regain their footing. The alternative, he says, is a fall toward fascism or anarchy, which would pull the West down too. Rick Endefirth, ABC News, the State Department.
The political demise of the Soviet Union will be the topic tomorrow on This Week with David Brinkley. All sides of the power struggle will be represented, including Russia's vice premier, a senior aide to Mikhail Gorbachev, and Deputy Secretary of State Lawrence Eagleburger, who's coordinating American help to the Soviet republics. A new and growing problem is facing Russian authorities, a byproduct of the new freedoms and all the other social and political upheaval. As ABC's Walter Rogers reports, the problem is drugs.
When the authorities opened the door to Western pop culture, young Russians grasped anything foreign. They embraced the bizarre and now seek the same escapes as American youth through rock music and drugs. When this subway drug market near Moscow's Pushkin Square was raided, teenagers said the dealers came right back.
Drugs are good business now. You can't buy vodka or cigarettes.
Young Russians are almost as familiar with drugs as many Americans. Svetlana, a heroin addict, offered to shoot up on camera.
I would commit any crime to get a fix. If someone said, kill somebody for a fix, I'd do it.
Profound political changes here, a disintegrating economy, and instant freedom have brought a loss of direction, coupled with disillusionment and drug addiction. Moscow's Hospital 17 for addicts is overwhelmed.
I think the drug epidemic here is so serious that this country will make Bolivia look like Disneyland.
Shootouts with drug barons like this raid on an opium center in Georgia are becoming common. This man puts a gun to his head, choosing suicide to arrest. Drug-related crime is up 45% here. The number of criminal gangs has doubled. Central Asia produces most of the drugs here, which make their way to these Moscow markets, where hashish, marijuana, and heroin are almost as available under the counter as vegetables are on top.
People are looking for it. A lot of people.
Out on the streets, police wage a losing war on drugs, often outnumbered and outgunned, in a country that now threatens to become a major supplier of cheap drugs for the rest of Europe. Walter Rogers, ABC News, Moscow.
Also in Moscow today, the Russian government gave a brief reprieve to former East German leader Erich Honecker. Russian leaders said the 79-year-old Honecker could remain in his refuge at the Chilean ambassador's home until Monday, but then he must leave the country. That decision sparked demonstrations outside the ambassador's residence. Honecker is wanted in Germany on manslaughter charges for his orders to shoot East Germans trying to flee across the Berlin Wall. Coming up, how retailers are making the customer king this holiday shopping season. And later in this broadcast, trying to keep Hawaii from becoming a paradise lost. And teaching inner city kids how to beat their swords into college educations.
World News Saturday, brought to you by Mountain Grown Folgers.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Everyone's asleep. Shh,
I know how to wake them up. Come on.
Happy holidays from Folgers.
I was a dedicated beard wearer until my wife gave me the new Remington Microscreen Elite. It's quick, it's close. The Remington Microscreen Elite has 2 ultra-thin screens. So comfortable, shaves as close as a blade or your money back. That's Remington.
President Bush came under attack again today for his handling of the economy from Democrats who hope to replace him next year. At the state party convention in Orlando, Florida, Nebraska Senator Bob Kerrey said Mr. Bush is guilty of economic malpractice and it's time for Americans to revoke his license. And with equally colorful rhetoric, former Massachusetts Senator Paul Tsongas accused the president of practicing, quote, Twinkie economics. Meanwhile, at Camp David, President Bush and Mexico's President Carlos Salinas de Gortari renewed their commitment to conclude a sweeping free trade agreement early next year. One sure sign of the sorry state of the economy is the slow pace of retail sales during this holiday shopping season. As ABC's Steve Shepard reports, retailers are trying every trick in the book to get shoppers to come in their stores and open their wallets.
Hi.
Flashing lights and everything, right? Sorry. Sorry.
This shopper is just one of thousands who have clipped newspaper ads containing barcodes and presented them at Kmart registers. The right code could mean a free trip to Disney World.
Oh, you want a free Coke?
Welcome to Landline.
At this stationery store in New York, Santa does a lot more than just holler out, ho, ho, ho. And at Bloomingdale's, for the first time, a Federal Express counter has been opened for shoppers who want to send their gifts overnight without leaving the store. Across America, retailers are doing just about anything they can think of to salvage what many fear could be a bleak holiday buying season.
Most of the special promotions that we see are designed to attract attention and to bring people into the stores that are offering them.
Shoppers admit that some of the promotions do work.
I haven't been down to Kmart at all, but when I saw that ad, I wanted a chance to make a fool out of myself and go to Disney World.
Service is also being stressed this year.
I can take a look in the stockroom for you. Would you mind? Sure, it's no problem at all.
Despite the bleak economy, at Sears, Bloomingdale's, and some other stores, more holiday clerks than ever have been hired to ease Christmas shopping.
The focus this Christmas was to provide a much easier way for customers to shop in the store.
Jingle bells.
Retailers hope their extra efforts will pay off.
Got to do a lot of things to get customers in. It's a very bad year.
But for shoppers who want service, it's very good. This year, the customer is king, and stores are showing they know it. Steve Shepard, ABC News, Washington.
When we return, how Hawaii has become the extinction capital of the United States.
Share the fantasy. Chanel number 5.
To help fight the corrosive effects of salt and water, every Lexus features airbag terminals plated in gold. Of course, we might have used a less expensive material, but it wasn't money we were interested in saving.
Can a razor cut your beard off below the skin without the blades even touching your face? It can if it's a Norelco. Norelco's patented lift and cut system lifts the hair, so when it's cut, it can actually drop below skin level without the blades even touching your face. Are you getting a shave this incredibly close and exceptionally comfortable? You are when you shave with Norelco. Norelco, we make close comfortable.
Have you had your V8 today? Did you know that V8 juice has less than half the calories of that apple?
Wow!
V8 is a nutritious blend of 8 vegetable juices that taste terrific. Have you had your V8 today?
Everyone knows Contact wrote the book on cold medicine. Now Contact's added a whole new chapter, introducing new Contact Day and Night. On this page, yellow day caplets that knock out your cold symptoms without making you drowsy, so you can breathe easy and work all day long. On this page, blue night caplets that relieve your symptoms to let you rest. Both formulas control your cold symptoms with the right medicine at the right time. New Contact Day and Night, a whole new chapter in cold relief.
Today is the 200th anniversary of the Bill of Rights, that document that created the individual liberties that form the very foundation of American democracy, like freedom of speech, the right to a jury trial, and protection from unreasonable searches and seizures. According to a survey released today by the American Bar Association, most Americans, 67%, don't know what the Bill of Rights is. Another thing that many people still seem to be woefully ignorant about is the damage being done to the environment. Take the Hawaiian Islands. A vacation there is the dream of many Americans. But in a recent report, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service and the Nature Conservancy have issued a dire warning. The battle is being lost to save the flora and fauna of America's most beautiful state. Ken Kashiwahara has that story.
It is America's paradise of the Pacific, a unique environmental showcase of nature's beauty. Hawaii is home to the country's only rainforest, to 10,000 plant and animal species found nowhere else in the world. But it is a paradise endangered.
If Hawaii is not the extinction capital of the world, it certainly is the extinction capital of the United States.
Indeed, 75% of all the bird and plant extinctions in the nation are Hawaiian. Half of the native birds are gone, and half of those that survive are endangered. The problem is civilization. Forests where native birds used to live have been destroyed so crops could be planted and houses built. The non-native animals people brought with them, pigs and goats, have uprooted and trampled native vegetation. Half of Hawaii's unique rainforest is already gone.
And when you lose those kinds of things, then, you know, you might as well be someplace else. This place of Hawaii that belongs to the world, if you will, is not going to be what it was.
Biologists are trying to stem the tide of extinction, keeping some rare plants alive by pollinating them because the insects that used to do it are gone, breeding the endangered state bird, the nene, on a preserve, and placing a remote island off limits to people to save what endangered populations are left, the Nihoa finch, the Hawaiian monk seal, the green sea turtle. But it is not enough.
We're finding that we're still losing the war. Species are going extinct faster now than they were 10 years ago.
As a result, government officials and environmentalists are calling for greater protection of wildlife habitats, more controls over the influx of other non-native species into the state, like the brown tree snake, which could wipe out the bird population, which has already been found arriving in the wheel wells of airplanes. And they are calling for more educational programs. But all of that takes money in an economic climate that makes it likely more endangered species will disappear before a solution is found. Still, with civilization continuing to encroach on wildlife preserves, officials say the American public must now join the battle.
It's a battle characterized by continuous compromise. And at some point in time, we are going to have to say, that's enough compromise.
But with so many species already gone, Hawaii will never be what it once was. And unless an all-out war is waged to save what is left, this paradise is in danger of becoming a paradise lost. Ken Kashiwahara, ABC News, Honolulu.
When we come back, learning to live by the sword.
Cut. Okay, stop. Cut.
Presto has a great idea.
Shoot some slices, shoot some shreds, shoot some salad, salad shooter.
Presto has a great big idea. Professional salad shooter slicer shredder. Big capacity, holds a lot, shoots a lot. Powerful, fast, a variety of cutting blades so you can point and slice thick, slice thin, shred right into the bowl, even ripple cut. Chop, grate right where you want. Clean up easy, dishwasher safe, store anywhere.
Salad shooter.
Original, cordless, professional salad shooter.
You can fill your whole Christmas list right here.
Yeah, we're Santa's little helpers.
Just ask Ace.
Yeah.
The $1 rebate makes it a great time to stock up on Eveready Energizer batteries, and the Ace booster cable set is only $9.99.
Hey, Ace is the place.
La 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 la.
Some days my minor arthritis acts up, and I really feel the pain. I used to take aspirin. Now I've switched to Advil. Advil relieves the pain in my stiff joints. In fact, one Advil is as effective as 2 regular aspirin. And Advil is gentler to my stomach. Maybe that's why doctors recommend Advil for minor arthritis pain more than any other brand. For my pain, I simply prefer Advil. Advil, advanced medicine for pain.
Domino's just what you wish, and Domino's had to ring your bells.
With Domino's Pizza's Season's Greeting Special. Now get a medium pepperoni pizza for just $2.99 with any large pizza at the regular price.
Nobody knows like Domino's.
We don't make your pizza till you make your call and deliver in 30 minutes or less, guaranteed.
Nobody knows
Ho, ho.
like Domino's. How you like pizza at home?
Everybody needs some money sometime.
Only Western Union can get money to over 16,000 locations in minutes. Nobody else even comes close. Western Union, the fastest way to send money.
It's time now to check in with Ray Gandolf in New York for a look at one man's quest to teach an unusual sport to inner city kids, and of course today's sports highlights. Hi, Ray.
Thank you, Carol. A little bit of a lot of things tonight. In football, in frigid Chicago, the Bears intercepted Tampa Bay quarterback Jeff Carlson 3 times, made his first NFL start a nightmare, and shut out the Buccaneers. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the National Basketball Association's all-time leading scorer, said today that he might come out of retirement to help his friend and former teammate Magic Johnson in the fight against AIDS. Jabbar, who is 44, implied that some of his salary would go for AIDS research. In Paris, the Olympic flame was lit tonight. 5,500 torchbearers will lug it all around France, ending in Albertville on February 8th for the opening ceremonies. An American swordsman who will be on his 5th Olympic fencing team next summer in Barcelona is planting the seeds of his esoteric sport in an unlikely garden. Meet Peter Westbrook.
On guard, cut. On guard, cut. If you give a kid a sword and put it in his hand and tell him to go beat that kid up, they like that. Those kids love that. I appeal to their barbaric or fighting instincts. They love that.
Ready?
That may be how Peter Westbrook appeals to these kids, ages from about 8 to 15. But when he gets them into his fencing class, they learn a lot more than fighting.
Good, Omar. You're doing a good job. Hanging out with these big boys here.
It doesn't have to do with teamwork, but it makes you feel that you can't cheat or anything.
Teach a lot of respect and how to play fair.
Maybe to improve myself, and also possibly I would like to go for a college scholarship, so I want to be one of the best.
This is for the bronze.
Peter Westbrook is certainly one of the best, 12 times a national champion, a bronze medal winner in the saber at the 1984 Olympics.
Peter Westbrook of New York City. Strengthen those legs. We're going to make those legs stronger.
A year ago, with a few $1,000s of his own as seed money, he set up a foundation that offers free fencing lessons to inner-city kids in New York. He grew up in a housing project in Newark, New Jersey, headed who knows where, he says, when he discovered fencing.
I just loved it. I mean, I fell in love with it. You know how you just meet something that you just love, like a woman or something? Well, I fell in love with the sword.
That's what really makes it more exciting, to have somebody who is going to teach you, who is very enthusiastic, who's not boring.
Very nice. Preparation, counterattack. The ones that want to go a little further, the ones that want to get scholarships to universities, those are the people that we hone in on, give them a little more special attention.
People like Langston Griffin, a pint-sized 6th grader with giant-sized ambitions.
I'm really determined to make it well in fencing so I can get a scholarship and maybe go to the Olympics. Size doesn't matter. You have more places to hit them at. You may have your head, but you got a stomach.
Even if you don't have big ambitions, you're never too young to learn something.
They give you a glove on one hand and not two hands, because when you fence, your opponent could cut your hand.
And unlike a real fencing match, unlike real life, at the end of Peter Westbrook's class, there are no losers.
50 trophies and T-shirts for every one of the children to let them know it's not if you win, but as long as you play the game and do your best.
Westbrook says that in 1976, he was the youngest Olympic fencer in the world, and that at 40, he will be the oldest in Barcelona. Carol?
Nice story, Ray. When we return, the patron saint of Eastern Maryland's poor.
I was a dedicated beard wearer until my wife gave me the new Remington Microscreen Elite. It's quick, it's close. The Remington Microscreen Elite has 2 ultra-thin screens. So comfortable, shaves as close as a blade or your money back. That's Remington.
Most kids think medicine has to taste bad, but Dimetapp Elixir tastes great, and it's recommended most by pediatricians.
You like Dimetapp?
Dimetapp and Dimetapp DM works as good as it tastes.
Chapstick. From the freezing wind to the scorching sun, Chapstick Lip Balm is serious medicine, made to help chapped lips heal fast and healthy lips stay healthy. Whatever the weather, don't take chances, take Chapstick.
Do your holiday shopping with the Discover card, and you'll not only give, you'll receive a cashback bonus for every charge. It pays to Discover.
Sunday on This Week with David Brinkley. The latest on the power struggle in Moscow. Is Gorbachev about to resign? How will their people survive the winter? Sunday.
Finally, the story of a little old lady who is easily the poorest person in Salisbury, Maryland. This is not a story about how her neighbors are helping her this Christmas. It's a story about how she is helping them. Here's Jed Duval.
It is moving day for Gina Copeland. She and her mother are bringing clothes and food and stuff, and Gina's 2 sons, to a brand new apartment.
I call this my home because I'll be here for a while until I, get myself together and finally, get my careers and get the kids straight and, go on my own.
Gina has been bounced from place to place lately and might have been part of the growing homeless population were it not for this place, Joseph House Village.
We attempt to assist people that are either currently homeless or in danger of being so. We look for a hint of motivation to attempt to improve their position.
The state helped pay for these 15 new apartments. The builder is a soft-spoken but tough Catholic nun, Sister Mary Elizabeth.
The complex is going to be transitional in character, and that's why we're building it.
Sister Mary Elizabeth has been working with poor people for 35 years.
See, welfare has really ruined the poor. Welfare was never intended to be a way of life. It was intended to be a crisis-oriented help, but it's become a way of life with many people.
It won't be in the apartments.
We'll send them to school. We'll do anything that will help them. We'll give them as much time as they need at the village. And when we think they're ready to leave and they feel that they're ready to leave, then we will give them a support group to come back to. We need to give them time when they're secure and can put their minds on developing themselves and not worrying about what they're going to eat and where they're going to sleep.
Mary Ellen Matat will have a nice place now while she goes to nursing school.
I was frantic at this time. I was very frantic. Yes, I was. Because I did not want to be on the streets. I saw, I've seen what streets have done to people. I don't want to be that.
Building this place has been Sister Mary Elizabeth's ambition for a long time. She is in her 70s now and is ill with emphysema. She has lived a very simple life.
I've never paid taxes in my life.
Ever had a credit card?
Never had a credit card. Never had a Social Security number until I was 50. It was like coming from Mars. No, I don't have anything, thank God.
It was a long time ago, says Sister Mary Elizabeth, a long time ago, that she first saw poor people badly in need of help. I said to myself, that shouldn't be. You're the poorest person in this town.
That's right. I'm the happiest person in this town.
Jed Duval, ABC News, Salisbury, Maryland.
And that's World News Saturday. I'm Carol Simpson. Good night.
This has been a presentation of ABC News. More Americans get their news from ABC News than from any other source.
Ho, ho, ho! It's a holiday treat that can't be beat with Disney favorites and new friends to meet. Winnie the Pooh and Christmas too. Then Santa's and the Slammer.
It means the end of Christmas as we know it.
And only one man can save him. Ernest Saves Christmas. Tonight, 2 good reasons it's a special season on ABC.
The good